Hi, as always, it's been a busy week. Last weekend, I took part in the GMTK Game Jam. As of recording this, I don't know the result yet. If you haven't seen the video from that already, I've added a link in the description. I've also been working on Lumbermill, of course, and added save games and a main menu. I started by creating the basic layout for the main menu in a new scene in Unity, and followed that up by designing the basic new game screen, which in this first iteration, the player only has the option to name their save game. Once I'd implemented that, I got a basic system working with the two pages linking together. With that sorted, I then added an option for the player to name a seed for the forest generator. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a number that the world generator uses as a starting point, so the world will always generate exactly the same whenever that seed is used. I created a little tick box that suits the interface a little better than the stock Unity one, and this is what it looked like. So you can see here, whenever that tick box is checked, the seed field is shown or hidden. Next, I thought it would be cool to add a loading screen, so the player knows the game is being loaded and hasn't just frozen when the world is being generated. The plan was great in theory, but I discovered that Unity's loading code doesn't account for the start methods, so all of the forest generation and world initialization isn't included in the loading bar. So I have the same problem of the bar appearing to freeze while the world generates. Next, I created the layout for the load options, where the player can select a game to load. At the moment, this can support any number of save games, which can be scrolled through. I wasn't entirely happy with the colour, so I just switched it to be a translucent black box that you can see the background of the main menu through. With a bit of coding, I got it to display a preview of the save game. Ignore the Shrek green of the background here. I went through a series of different colours before arriving at a decent background. The Shrek green was the final straw for me, so I began work on an actual background for the menu. I got a screenshot of a square area of the forest so I could make a repeating tile out of it. I then spent a bit of time in Photoshop modifying the image to create a repeating texture. Once I'd gotten that sorted, I stretched out the image in Unity to create some looping tiles, and added a separate camera to the scene to display the background. I did that so I could apply effects to the background camera if I want to in the future, without affecting the main menu interface. Here are some pretty exaggerated examples of what can be done. With the camera movement coded, I arrived at this background. The image endlessly and seamlessly scrolls over a forest. This was the final result of the main menu, with load options and a new game screen all set up. The last thing for the week was to make the interfaces in the game movable, as previously they'd be in the centre of the screen and might be obscuring the forest from the player. To do this, I added an invisible bar to the top of each interface, which when clicked and dragged, moves the target interface. That needed a collider to know when it was being clicked. Once I'd added the bar to the interfaces, the result was this. If you want to follow the game's development a bit more closely or just want to chat, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description. As of this video, there are almost 70 people there and would be cool to see you there too. That's all for this week. If you liked the video, do remember to subscribe and I shall see you next time. Cheers for watching.